The following program is sponsored by the Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism Recreation Board meeting, March 24th, 2020.
Minimum separation.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll give Marietta a couple more minutes.
She said she's still, even with the new code, having a hard time calling in. That it's ringing busy. I'm offering to have her just call me on my cell phone and put it on speaker.
Sure. Maybe you could just have her do it one more time, but make sure she has 852-007.
Okay.
Do you want me, Mike McNeil, to hang up to maybe there's a limit how many people can call in at once or something?
Let's have her try it one more. Let's have her try it one more time.
Okay, because I'm just kind of listening in.
Yeah, totally. No, we're glad you're here, man. If it comes to that, what I'll do is I'll give you my cell phone number and shoot me a text, and then if she gets on, then we'll have you try and see if that's what's happening. But I believe, we've had multiple people on this line before, so.
The sound quality is not that good,
The
Kyle.
sound quality is not that good, but
Got to do something.
and from catching the sound on that, can you hear it from there, or do you how does that pick up on sound from this far away?
Well, I'm going to tell you, the reproduction is terrible, even for the human ear, let alone the camera.
Yeah. It's ringing busy. Hey Mike, would you mind going ahead and hanging up? Let me give you my cell phone number.
Okay, 1 second. Yes, please.
All right, it's 775 901
Okay.
0661.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. I'm gonna have her try, and then I'll text you and let you know what happened, or if she's on, and then for you to give it a try.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you want to give it another try, then if it,
I'm here.
right on. It sounds good, Mike. Thank you. All right, I think the gang's all here.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting and preliminary budget hearings FY 2021 for White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. Would you, Kyle, would you all stand and would you lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mike McNeil, Kansas County Tourism.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Would you please announce everyone who's there, Kyle, and then who's on the telephone? So we'll start with who's in the audience or who's in the...
Okay, so right now, Kyle Horvath, Director, Ian Bullis, Chair member, Judy Burbeau taking minutes. In the audience, we have Errol Porter, James Beecher, Wayne Cameron, and George Chachas.
All right, welcome all. And then Caroline McIntosh on the phone. Go ahead, Marietta, announce yourself. Marietta Henry.
Brian?
Brian Gardner. And Kurt Carson.
And Mike, you're on the phone too, right?
Yeah, Mike McNeil. I'm gonna hang up because it seems my extra circuit is, your phone was working great before. So I'm gonna hang up and, cause I think it's gonna help your signal.
Awesome, thank you, Mike. I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, welcome everyone. Right now, we are opening for public comment. Be limited to no more than 3 minutes per person. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item under the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda. Go ahead, anyone in public comment?
So
Thank you,
George,
Madam
George
Chair.
Chacha's approaching the table.
Madam Chairman, meeting packets are required to be ready 3 days prior to the meeting. The meeting date. If you're failing to meet the minimum requirement needed to comply with Nevada meeting law. It's not the first time I've brought up that concern. We need to address that at some point. Madam Chairman, on your agenda item, Roman numeral 2-10, the proposed agreement, space agreement needs to be scrapped. The Chamber is a private club, does not promote other businesses other than their own. If you notice the newspaper dated March 13, 2020, Chamber bucks, Chamber members, nothing with the rest of the community, and that needs to stop. The private club can do that, but when they come after public monies, absolutely, positively not. If you're having trouble with tourists finding this facility, try placing a distance indicator on the pathetic sign with your name on it showing only a small arrow. I brought that up more than once. You have not addressed the signage on your front windows, which can hardly be seen. The signage needs to be a white color so that it stands out and can be seen. You do not have an open or closed indicator, no hours of operation. Try putting up an A-frame on the sidewalk if nothing else. We got to change, folks. We're promoting what? Madam Chairman, there was nothing in the packet or agenda in regards to putting back the walkway in the convention center parking lot. There was nothing in regards to meeting the minimum ADA standards, as well as putting in a coal patch over the trench that was dug in the road on Lion Street. The sudden drop will affect wheel alignment or possibly cause tire damage. City code and policy is not being followed. We need to address that. It's not the first time I brought it up. The stop sign on the corner of 5th and Lions has not been replaced. It's been months. What's the holdup? You have a safety issue there. Street lights have not been addressed for months. You're portraying a poor image. The surrounding area is dark, folks. You have events coming up or have been going on, and you have people walking in the dark. What kind of visual presentation are you making? Madam Chairman, with all the money that this board has given to the county golf course, I'm asking again, what is the increase in play over the last 3 years? This request is 2 or 3 years old. Now they're asking for additional grants with no apparent increase. We need proof of increased play, not stagnation. Madam Chairman, the money that was given the community choir for pigeon control needs to come back to this board. NRS forbids you from supporting a private business owner. I want to remind you again, they were not a 501c at the time they applied. They misled you, and you may have had a blind eye. Failure to properly disclose or file under, pardon me?
It's 3 minutes.
Thank you. I'll continue.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. Is there any more public comment?
No.
Hearing none, we will move to item 2, new business. Number 1 under that is discussion and or possible action, approval of the agenda, including removal of agenda items. Do any board members have any removals or edits at this point? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have the first motion by Kurt.
Second by Ian.
Thank you. Second by Ian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item carries. Thank you. Number 2, discussion and for possible action, approval of the minutes from February 25th, 2020, work meeting.
I'll make a motion
to approve the minutes of February 25th, 2020, 4 p.m. meeting as presented.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion by Marietta and a second by Ryan. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Discussion item regarding the review of the financial report. And Kyle, if you can give everyone a minute to get the financial report out.
Absolutely. So what we'll do first is go over the room tax report for money collected for the month of February. And that is, if anybody's having problems finding that, I can give you a little bit more time. Okay. So actually February, if you look at a comparison to this time last year, we were actually up probably about 8%. You'll see that we had to do a refund to a customer who did a 9-month stay at 28-day rentals. So when you look at the comparison after that rebate, we were up about 2% this month compared to last year. Without that rebate, we were up about 8%. So for the hotel motel revenue, we collected about $74,911.90 in room tax. For the RVs and campgrounds, it was a total of $951.97 for a total of $75,863.87. What that equated to was $531.41 for the golf course. The city of Ely received $13,606.02. The railroad received $11,239.09. And Torn Rec received $48,380.02 towards the budget. So again, we talked about the comparison of how this was last year. We'll see how the next couple of months go. Looking at the budget comparison, so pulling that one out, we are for city room tax income at 72, almost 73% for the year budgeted, and for county room tax budgeted at 76, almost 77%. Center events is about at 50% for what we budgeted for the year, and like I said, we'll see how that goes. The big one, we'll have a big grant reimbursement at the end of the year because we're pushing about $40,000 received in grants from Travel Nevada, so we'll have that come in, which will be over what we budgeted for. If you go down to expenses, the items that kind of stand out are the same ones that stand out every year: the dues and subscriptions, the internet connection. The main reason for the internet connection being over is Mount Wheeler Power used to donate the Wi-Fi for our electric sign, and with our new internet company, that's not an option. So that's a payment that we didn't have when we were doing budgeting last year. Building maintenance and repair, we're a little bit over, and like I said, the grant reimbursable, but pretty much everything else in this budget that you're looking at is not the augmented budget. That you're going to go ahead and approve today, and then you'll go ahead and see how that changes in the 3 categories that we're augmenting. But essentially that $22,000 operating deficit is not accurate to where we actually are once the budget's been augmented. So any questions on the budget comparison? You'll see when we talk about the preliminary budget, kind of how I've taken actuals from this year and the augmentations and making my recommendations for next year.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Kyle. We'll move on to number 4, discussion and look for possible actions to ratify the bill.
Okay, I am subtracting right now as we speak. So what we're doing is there was one of the bills was caught by Caroline earlier today. It was for the Wreck Brothers, but it was actually a bill to the Main Street Committee, and so that check has since been removed, but it was not removed from this document, and so I'm going ahead and removing that now so that we can get an accurate total to go ahead and approve.
time, while you're doing the calculation, I need to disclose that I'm having a bath lumber, and so that's why there's two agenda items. And so the first agenda item will be the bill excluding the bath lumber.
Thank you, Carolyn.
All right, I think I got it. So the total, are we doing, what are we doing first, the total or the total minus bath?
Total minus that.
Okay, so the total minus bath lumber would be $78,972.16.
I have here a motion.
I'll move that we approve, this states $78,972.16, which is the balance of all of the bills minus the bath lumber bill.
And can you include check numbers 24559 through 24603, excluding bath lumber and the rest brothers, to make it official, please?
Yes, that's including check numbers 24559 through 2460.
Excluding.
I'm sorry.
Excluding bath lumber and Breck Brothers.
Excluding bath lumber and Breck Brothers.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. There's a motion made by Ian and a second by Brian. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, a discussion and possible action approval of the bath lumber bill. Again, I am abstaining from this because I have an interest.
I'll move to approve paying the bath lumber bill in the amount of $417.43, check number 24576.
I'll second that motion. Ian has made a motion and Mary has seconded. Is there any discussion on the bath lumber bill? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, discussion and or for possible action, discussion and or for possible action. Number 6, approval of final budget augmentation.
So this would be presented as discussed in the previous meeting. So this would be carrying the $150,000 over for the parking lot bill, increasing the community marketing line item by $20,000, bringing it up to $90,000. And then there was an augmentation that was recommended in the income that was to adjust for the increase from the county in room tax. And that was hold on a second. That was $27,000. So again, that was all stuff that's discussed in a past meeting. We just didn't have the public notice in the newspaper, and so we had to wait on taking the vote for this. So we have had the public notice, and if the board is fine with as proposed, then you can go ahead and approve.
And Kyle, does Jeff submit this?
Jeff does submit this, and he does have all the documentation that's filled out and ready to send in after the board approves it.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
That came in from Ian.
I'll second it.
There's a motion by Ian and a second by Kurt to approve the final budget augmentation FY 1920. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We currently have 7 minutes until our time adjournment for the preliminary budget, so I'd like to move ahead to item number 9. and we'll keep moving down until the 4:30 time to meet that obligation. Item 9 is discussion and for possible action, selection of auditor.
And that is an update for me. I apologize with all the stuff going on. I got started on this project and have not followed up with some of the responses from some of the auditors. We did get a list from the county and the state. The deadline is coming up due, so I just want to let the board know that this is my top priority to make sure that we are compliant with state requirements to announce our auditor in time.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, thank you. Number 10, discussion and for possible action, update on progress of shared space agreement with the Chamber of Commerce. And again, be aware that I will break in at 4:30 to adjourn the regular meeting for the preliminary budget hearing at 4:30. So, Kyle, would you like to take the update?
I'm going to pass that on to James, who's standing here, and he'll give us the update.
All right.
All right, everybody, James Beach for the record. So we have provided the lease agreement, a draft of the lease agreement. If you have any questions or suggested changes, let me know. If you want me to go through it, I can. If you've read it and don't have questions, that's fine too. So I guess, Chair McIntosh, you can tell me how you would like me to proceed.
Thank you, James. I would like everybody to read over this one more time, any corrections on that, and then we'll let, if we can let Kyle and James know. And then I would assume they would be minor, or if there are any questions, just so that everyone on the board is aware of what the proposed agreement is. Will that work for you, James?
That will. In fact, yeah, any corrections, questions, or suggested changes, if they can all just go to Kyle, and Kyle can compile them and send them to me, and I can make those changes. And if anybody has any questions now, I can answer those as well.
Sorry, you got George's hands up, Wayne. I want to hear from you too. What? Or not. I'm saying if you have anything about this, I want to hear from you guys too. If you know of any changes you want to make right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne Cameron, for the record. They've gone over it pretty well. Under item number 4, under consideration of the agreement, there's a lot of questions on that. There's some language that they're going to want, they would like to sit down with you and a couple of board members one more time and get this ironed out so we can get this thing rolling.
Okay.
But when we've been doing this way.
So let's go at it this way. Let's have the board go ahead and read it one more time. Send your suggestions, and then let's schedule that special meeting that we've been talking about between the two groups and kind of go over it, the language changes, the things like that. Or if you want to send me the language changes or send James, we can all kind of compile it at one time.
Yeah, they're supposed to have the information for me today, but with everything going on, everybody's kind of getting the world right
Yeah.
now, so.
Right on.
For example, since we're discussing section 4, the guidance I was given was general in nature, so I decided just to make something, right? But like the period of 3 years, for example, that's not, that's totally negotiable between, what the different entities want. So a lot of these were just kind of judgment calls of what, just to get something together in front of everybody. But yeah, certainly any suggested changes. Obviously, there's certain legal requirements that I want to adhere to. So if there's suggested changes to those, then I will look at that on kind of a case-by-case basis. But as far as the substance goes, yeah, we can fashion pretty much something that will work for everybody. I'm pretty confident.
There is some language
So James
they would like in that
James and
report.
Kyle.
So.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wayne was just saying that there was some language that they wanted to see put in there. So we're going to have him send that to James with all of your guys' suggestions, and then we'll come up with a version 2.
I'd also like to propose that Ian is our liaison to the White Pine Chamber of Commerce, and that he, I believe, has been meeting with the joint meeting. Is that correct?
The last meeting that they had was at the same time as the county commission meeting, and I wasn't able to make it.
Well, hopefully we'll plan it better next time.
Yeah.
Wayne, is there anything in particular that they want added to it? Could you discuss that?
Yeah, we get it sent over, I can get it to James.
I think Caroline, he was asking for the specifics. There was some concerns generally, he was asking for specifics, and he did not receive that prior to this meeting. Is that true?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, from his board members.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, and we certainly appreciate it, Wayne, this partnership that is involved.
It's gonna work out well for all of us,
Yep, I agree.
and the community too.
Yeah.
Did George have input on this?
I believe he has input on this.
Yeah, I have a concern. I think you should table this. I've not seen this, and I've been to several meetings in the past. I don't know what the concerns are, the additions, but approving the contract and then adding on is not kosher.
So just to be clear, we're not approving the contract today.
This is draft one.
Okay, that's fine. I'd like to see draft one or draft any. I
Okay.
have not. Thank you.
Just for the record, I gave George a copy of the first draft of the lease agreement.
All right. Yep, thank you guys.
I can go now.
Are there any more comments about item number 10 regarding the shared space agreement? Any from board members? Okay, thank you. It is now 4:30. I'm going to adjourn the regular meeting and open the preliminary budget hearing FY 2021. And just imagine a gavel. Budget hearing. Kyle, would you like to explain where we are on the proposed budget?
Yes, thank you.
Preliminary.
So after 2 years of being in the position, I've been able to kind of look at actual numbers and see kind of some trends and stuff like that, and looking at kind of projecting of what we're going to need and maybe what we're not going to need moving into the future. I think with the time being is kind of uncertain right now. This budget is a very conservative budget. It has minimal gains in the income, and there is actually some cuts that go ahead and make the expenses a little bit less, while not what I would feel like slitting our throat in regards to what our mission is with marketing and things like that. So you've got two documents that was sent out to you. You've got a 2-page document with detailed budget items, and this is kind of, I'm gonna walk through each one of these, and then the actual budget sheet that you guys have that has the yellow highlighted stuff. Any of the suggestions that I've talked about in here, you'll see the changes made in the highlighted document over here. This is a working Excel spreadsheet on my computer, so any suggestions that you guys make will change in here. The things that have not changed are, well, no, scratch that. Disregard that I even said that. So essentially, let's kind of go through this. In the detailed budget items under tour and rec events, what I wanted to show you guys is kind of what the budget is for these events here. Now, in the past, we've taken some expenses and we've moved it into community marketing, or we've moved it over somewhere else. So when you actually look at the T&R event in the budget, it shows what I think $16,000 spent year to date. But realistically, when you pull the sheets, Fire and Ice is about a $10,000 event. It's $6,000 for fireworks alone, and then you've got the sculpture. You've got this year we made the axe throwing targets, things like that. Essentially, just to put that event on from hard costs, not including like additional marketing, it's about $10,000. Insurances, all that good stuff. Race the Rails is about an $8,000 event, and like I've been talking about, I want to see this become very financially solvent so that we can pass this off to Great Basin Trails Alliance and have this be one of their additional events. But as for right now, we need to do it for one more year. Festival of Trees We don't really do a lot of expenses with this one, but in the past we have bought new Christmas decoration items to the tune of $5, $6, sometimes $10,000. And so that $5,000 is more about if we need anything additional in the facility. 4th of July breakfast and events. It was about a $4,000 event to put on last year, and we're expecting we're going to need more food, more waffles, more mimosas, all that good stuff. So that's 6. Concert series. I'd like to have some stuff specific to putting on musical events, and that my proposal would be $5,000, and then any new events. So that would be courting, event promoters that would be looking at bringing their event